Throw it down, big man.
Welcome everybody back to the Throw It Down Big Fella podcast. I am your host, Greg Rufus, and this guy that you see on the screen over here, you know who he is. Needs no introduction. Friend of the show, friend for life, brother from another mother, the one and only Darren Randolph. Darren, how you doing?
I'm doing blessed. Thank you for having me. Miss you guys and everything. But yeah, I've been pretty busy on my end. Covered Grizzlies Media Day this past Monday. We got some high school football going on. So a lot of stuff is going on.
You could definitely talk about Grizzly Media Day. You were there. We'll get to that later. Media Day shenanigans. Your boy Draymond. I'm definitely gonna get to that later. Just in rare form, your boy. But on this episode, you guys, we're gonna talk about the Karl-Anthony Towns trade. The shock heard around the entire NBA on a Friday night special. It was not a Woj bomb. It was a shams bomb because there's no more Wojnarowski, no more Woj no more. So you gotta get used to that shams bomb, I guess. It doesn't go off the tongue that quick like a Woj bomb, but a shams bomb late Friday night. Also, all the college football that happened this past Saturday, crazy losses. Ole Miss loss, the Alabama Georgia game, Colorado's dominant win over UCF. The Philadelphia, we'll get to NFL. My Philadelphia Eagles laid a flat out egg. Baker was cooking. And the ugliest win, probably, what I say in Broncos history, because that was an ugly, win.
I guess, man, it's just one of them trademark type of games. Anytime you put in Denver Broncos, you better scoring 20, let alone 15.
Just ugly conditions. Aaron Rodgers at it again with this. We'll get into all that. And Derrick Rose retires from the NBA. Is he a future Hall of Famer? We'll see. We'll talk about that. And also, we lost 3 legends this week. In the span of 2 days. The great Dikembe Mutombo, Pete Rose, and today we heard about John Amos, but I heard he died back in August 21st, and the family just kept it a secret for a very long time. So, yeah, that's really sad. 3 legends in a span of 2 days. We'll dive into that. But first, let's talk about the trade. Everybody's been talking about it. I've been hearing both sides of the arguments about the Karl-Anthony Towns trade to the New York Knicks. The Knicks sent Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, and a second round draft pick. Draft pick from the Detroit Pistons.
I think the final details literally came out not too long ago. I think they're sending 2 second rounders.
2 second rounders. I thought it was a first rounder from Detroit, but it's 2 second rounders from Detroit. Okay. So what do you think, Darren? Who won the trade? Who lost the trade? How do you feel?
At the end of the day, both of these teams had to make business decisions, especially with the new CBA that's going around. You saw it with the Clippers. They had to drop Paul George because of the CBA. Warriors had to trade away Clay because of the new CBA. You're just seeing it everywhere, and this is another one of those teams that's falling victims because you're not going to be able to pay Ant. And then you also, if you do decide to keep Karl-Anthony Towns, then you're going to have to either let go of a player like Naz Reid or some other significant role player. And I personally, I would much rather have Naz Reid and one other additional player than, to have a very expensive Karl-Anthony Towns. Even though, the Timberwolves franchise, they were really close last postseason.
Mm-hmm.
then you make all these moves, getting Rudy Gobert, pairing him up with Karl Anthony Towns, only for this to happen. Now, granted, all those moves were made before that new CBA was going to affect, so there was a way for them to to predict this was going to happen. Now, regarding for the Knicks, on the other hand, now that I believe they got some of the contracts that are expiring on their end. Trying to remember who's probably on some expiring contracts.
Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, he's one of them. He's one of them. So like I said, they were both on business moves, but at the end of the day, your winner of this trade, I still probably would say the Timberwolves, because you lose too much, but you get. I feel like you gain more than what you lost, especially what you got beat in last year with Dallas, because Dallas just shot them out the gym. Now, if you added Dante in there, that should be able to alleviate that, and that should be able to make Minnesota a bit more competitive. The trade with New York, it kind of pushed them closer to competing with Boston for the East. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how Karl Anthony Towns end up meshing in the paint along with that team. It's going to be interesting. We'll see how that works out.
Okay. So I'd like to start off by saying we had this conversation a while back about Karl Anthony Towns being one of the best shooting big men of all time. And I kind of laughed at it when you said it. I was like, ain't no way. I argue Dirk Nowitzki. Well, guess what, Darren? I have to take back what I said. I'm coming around. I think Karl Anthony Towns, as a shooting big man, can shoot better than Dirk Nowitzki. Now, I'd still take Dirk as a playmaker, create his own shot, go inside, post up dribble, do all that. I take Dirk all day in a game of one-on-one against him. But as a pure shooter, Karl Anthony Towns is like legit probably the best one of all time. Like, and I when you have that guy that can just shoot, he could just shoot. And when he's hot, he's hot. And he doesn't want to, he shoots too much for my liking, but the guy can shoot. And so you bring him into New York City, and you think about the shooting that the Knicks have. Besides Dante DiVincenzo, like Josh Hart is not really that type of shooter. He's all around. Everything else is Josh Hart. You have him, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. This team they're gonna be the number 2 team in the East, in the Eastern Conference. I feel like. I mean, everybody's talking about Philadelphia. I get it, but Joel Embiid's health is still a main concern, and it's scary. Can he stay healthy? And I don't know. I think that would be, if Joel Embiid is 100% playing 82 games in a year, then I'll take the Philadelphia 76ers number 2. I will, but I don't think he is. I really don't think he hasn't played an 82-game season his entire career. And so what makes you think now, at his age, he's been in the league for 8 or 9 years now, what makes you think it's going to change all of a sudden, just like that? I mean, I think New York has a legit team. There's still like one more trade left for them to do to probably get one more center, because I don't trust Mitchell Robinson like either starting or come off the bench. I just don't. But you look at their starting 5. I mean, with Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and I assume Mitchell Robinson, or if they get another power, well, it can't be Mitchell Robinson. He's going to be out for the first 2 months of the season. I guess, well, they're going to have to figure it. Oh, I'm sorry, Josh Hart. So you have to put OG probably at the 4 and Cat at the 5. I think that's a legit starting 5, and I think the New York Knicks won this trade. I think Minnesota in like year 2 or 3 or 4 will probably win this trade, because you got to have Karl Anthony Towns contract. You got more money to spend, fluctuate around. The team of Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert in their front court, I'm sorry, I guess it gives Ant more space. I mean, to be a creative, to be that type of guy, because right now, yeah, I mean, I guess that's the
Yeah,
legit reason. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, it would.
um, I think the Knicks right now are going to get there. I think it's going to take Minnesota time to mesh and gel the pieces that they have together. It's going to take some time, and so I look forward to seeing what they can do in the future. But right now, I give the slight edge to the Knicks. But I have some concerns though with Karl Anthony Towns going to New York. He's going back to Coach Tibbs. I don't know how receptive of Karl Anthony Towns is. You know, remember that infamous story with Jimmy Butler and the coach in the practice, the famous practice that kind of drove Jimmy Butler away from Minnesota. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, Coach Tibbs was the coach. What people don't tend to seem to forget. Like
right.
Coach Tibbs kind of told Jimmy, "All right, you just be a menace, whatever," and probably push Karl Anthony Towns' mental, push him. Oh, it pushed him all right. Like it pushed it pushed Thibodeau out and it pushed Jimmy Butler out. I mean, it was you know how Coach Tibbs gives. You know, he likes to play people 50 minutes if possible. Like,
Hmm.
is Karl Anthony Towns gonna fit in with Coach Tibbs again? You know, this is reunion. So is it gonna work or how's this gonna play out to you?
I think through time you learn about yourself and you adapt. I feel like their second stint together should be I wouldn't say too different. They like I said, they should know each other, and
Mhm.
pretty much Tibbs know what he needs in his offense, and I don't see him having to play Julius that much. Now, if need be, you know, it is what it is. You know who you're dealing with. You know who your head coach is. But I don't think he's going to have to do that anymore. I mean, plus you got to remember what that specific Minnesota Timberwolves team was. They ain't had no choice
Yeah.
but to play Karl Anthony Towns that much. So
They were young too. He was young. So he's much more mature now, Karl Anthony Towns. So that's going to be interesting, that relationship. I wish Tibbs would just lay off a little bit on the minutes, though. Like that, it kills me every single year. He drives his players to the brink, and it's like Coach Tibbs is definitely on the hot seat this year. Would you agree? He's one of the coaches on the hot seat this year if it doesn't work out.
like he's on the hot seat every 5 years of his contract, or like every 4 years. Like at some point, he'll reach that plateau that everybody's just like, all right, like I need you to go ahead and push it up to the next level, or you gone. Because like I promise you, this is as good. As soon as he gets there to the organization, it's all good. It's all good. You're like, okay, okay, this is the tears that we all know. And then after a while, it's just like, now this is the tips that we also kind of know.
Yeah, we have to see. Yeah.
It's one of those you have to pick your poison
Hmm.
because who are you going to grab?
Yeah. Well, as a coach, I mean, you know, there's good assistant coaches that we don't know nothing about, but we'll get to know familiar wise. Let's say Taylor Jenkins, it doesn't work out in Memphis. I mean, could he be a candidate?
Do
I
you
don't
think
know.
Taylor is going to be the coach that would finally keep in mind
Unlock,
the
unlock.
the type of franchise we're talking about here?
But then this is the New York Knicks. It's the New York Knicks basketball. I get
That
it. Like,
they ain't just no run in the middle job we're talking about. So like,
mhm.
gotta be the type of coach that
Mark Jackson.
I,
Mhm.
as much as I want to, I feel like we've been calling for his name so long.
Former Nick. Former Nick. I mean, it's there. Like,
I think that train is gone.
yeah, I kind of think so too. At this point, after the last time he coached was 2006, no, 15,
No,
15, like
uh-uh. That's
no,
close to 13,
13. Oh,
like 13 or 12.
so it's been 11 years since he's been.
Exactly. Like
Oh, wow.
that's a lot of NBA basketball to be missing out on. And the game has changed
Yes.
in this decade alone, in the past decade alone.
The former Bucks coach that got railroaded so quick. Like
Oh, oh,
Adrian Griffin. Hmm.
possibly, possibly.
Interesting.
I
I was gonna say this. Go ahead.
how they start the season. If they start the season pretty all right, pretty decent, then I think his coaching seat should be cool. But don't let them fall into like this
A whole.
end record in the first 15 games, or you get to the 25 game point and you're looking at a 10 and 15 season and you're trying to get to 500.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could definitely see that. I gotta bring you back. I gotta bring you back in a couple of weeks after preseason because honestly, I don't give a blank about preseason. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I don't. I just don't. Preseason doesn't answer anything. It's like a sample size. I want the full meal. I don't want like sample size. Like, I want the full meal. But in a couple of weeks, we're gonna definitely do our over and under for the Eastern Western Conference. Who we think is gonna be coach of the year, defensive player of the year, MVP, all that type of good stuff. But you mentioned you were at the Grizzlies media day yesterday. What are the vibes like in Grizzlies? What are John Moran and them, Zach Eden? What is it like?
Man, these boys, they remind me of like that 21, 22 squad whenever they kind of first was like reaching that number 2 seed. Not when they got it again, because I feel they finished back-to-back seasons around like that 2 seed. I'm talking about the first time they got it.
Oh, the first time when they played Minnesota, right? First round. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
John Moran's dunk. Oh, I mean his layup game. Yeah, yeah. It
that
feels like that. It feels like that. Hmm.
exactly. And if you remember how that regular season went, that camaraderie was just like A1. They felt like they were that team. They
Hmm.
every media outlet was calling them like that little collegiate type of vibe.
Then they
Um,
kept winning without John. They won like 30 games without John Morant that year. Yeah.
it was crazy. Like that team right there, they were pretty much like unstoppable to a certain
Mm-hmm.
degree because that determination, the motivation. Uh, they wanted to prove themselves that they were them dogs on the court. And
Mm-hmm.
you could have felt in that media day yesterday. Um, Zach Kleiman, GM, president of the organization, he took the stage first. He pretty much was just he talking about he feels good. He feels like this team can compete for a finals. Um, he believes that Triple J, Bane, and Ja is like one of the best duos and trios in the league. Um, he's just really kind of just ready to see what this squad has because Marcus, Ja, Jaren, Bane, and
Zach.
obviously Edie. But them four themselves have not been able to play that many games with each other since everybody's been on the same payroll.
They've only played 15 games together. So
Exactly. So now that you added Edie on that as well, there's just like this kind of this excitement to where it's just like we can finally actually go out here and play some basketball and go out there and show these folks who kind of forgot about us
mhm.
what's going on, who we are. So
Are you
that's
not concerned with Gigi's injury? Are you concerned? He's
he seems like he was in good spirits.
mhm.
Um
Mhm.
he had that injury. It was kind of just one of those bang bang type of plays. Him and Bang were going up at the rim. They kind of collided with each other. He landed the wrong way. Uh,
I keep telling people practice. Why do you go so full strength in practice? Like
I mean, you don't even got to go for strength. You just, I mean, you have a
Freak
little
stuff.
contact, it's
Mm-hmm.
basketball, and then you land a certain way, and you say he heard something, he heard a sound, he thought it was something else. He didn't think it was what his ankle, what it was.
Yeah.
He tried to take a step, dropped down to the ground.
Mm.
So he was pretty emotional about it. He's going through. He said rehab is going pretty all right. He's gonna try to shoot for late November to come back. He is a December baby, so if not late November, he wants to at least try to come back before his birthday.
Mm.
Kind of like what the timeline is regarding him coming back to the team. Hopefully, he comes back. His transition, he got to get into that game ready shape, body shape. So hopefully, him transitioning into game ready shape doesn't really take too long, and hopefully by I'd probably say about 2 weeks before All Star break, he should be about full gear, 100% ready.
Okay. Okay. And I think Vegas agrees with you as well. They're went over or under total is 47 wins. Of course they went 26 and 53 last year. So I'm bearing a lot of injuries. A lot of injuries. So I fully think, like I said, this could be a playoff team. And the West is loaded. You know how it is loaded West and East. You got to get at least 40 wins. You got to get at least 42. At least 42. Can't be 41, 41. You got to be 42 and 40 type of thing to get to the playoffs. And especially in their division. Think about it. San Antonio is not a fluke anymore. They are not a fluke. I mean,
Yes,
Houston is not a fluke.
Houston's hard. I mean, you
New
still
Orleans,
New Orleans, exactly.
Dallas.
I mean, and obviously Dallas is it's going to be very, very, very tough in that division for the Grizzlies. So mistakes cannot be made. You could drop some games to some Eastern foes. You could drop a few games to outside Western divisional games, but
Yep.
when it comes to those main what is it, four other divisional teams, you
Mm-hmm.
got to lock it down and be focused because
And stay healthy. I
and
think that's the
that
biggest key. Stay healthy.
and that's what Marcus Smart was saying. He was just really just hammering down. He was just like, man, if we can actually just all stay healthy, we can actually go do some things. He really wants to be able to show this team how to take it to the next level. He's really excited to finally be able to join this team and actually go play some basketball. And that's what pretty much everybody's really trying to
Get
really
ready to do.
they
Yep.
just we haven't really just been able to play our brand of basketball. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what they really want to do. They just want to go out there and not really prove. They feel like they already kind of proved it.
Yep.
People don't forget. That's not their fault. I mean, kind of is, but I mean, that's just how life goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they forget about Ja. Like people forgot about John Morant. They have. They're gonna
Exactly.
find out again this year. They're gonna find out what kind of player John Morant really is and how explosive he is.
Yeah. And it was good to hear Ja being in the right state of mind. He said he's been spending a lot of time with his family. The rehab process has went really well. His shoulder is 100%. Um, he was saying, "quote a happy Ja is a scary Ja," and so we'll
Mm.
see how that goes. I'm just glad that mentally he's good to go. Um, I believe who was it? I think it was. I don't think Zach said it. I believe it was Coach Taylor Jenkins saying this. Um, he said you can tell that he has you can sense that he has a renewed sense of just a renewed sense of focus when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to basketball. And I guess he kind of lost. I guess at some point he kind of lost that love of basketball to a degree. I
Because
guess
of the suspension. Because of the suspension.
with the past 2 years, I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking 2 straight years. It ain't just
Right.
like, okay, 1 year this happened and then we have an okay year, and then the next year this happened. No, we're talking about back-to-back years, especially off of the those them back-to-back 2 seed Grizzly seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of messed with Ja a little bit, but throughout this off season, he's really done sharpened his mind, got his focus ready, and is making himself the best Ja as possible.
Well, I'm all for it. I'm all for a good positive aurora around your team. So speaking of positive aurora, which the Grizzlies seem to have, I'm gonna go to negative aurora, and it's really two teams in particular: the New Orleans Pelicans and the Golden State Warriors. I feel like it's negativity in New Orleans. I could just tell off a photo. Maybe I'm reading too much into a photo, but there was a photo, of course, of DeAndre with the new acquired from the Pelicans, Deontay Murray, Zion, who's lost 25 pounds, I believe, this offseason. Um, he looks so slim. Like he looks good. But
Well,
Brandon Ingram, who's been the center of trade discussions throughout the entire offseason, they look like something's just about to explode. Like I'm telling you, a photo could just tell you all certain photos on a media day. We'll see. Like I said, they're in the same division as the Grizzlies are, and in the Golden State Warriors, Draymond Green going off on a reporter about how like, I mean, did you see it by the way?
heard about it. I have not
God.
video itself. I've just been able to just hear about it because at one point it's just like, do I really just want to just feed into this right now? But in
Probably
another,
not.
it's
Probably
like
not.
I kind of see what actually happened. But you can go ahead and kind of just explain as best as you can.
I mean, basically, it was. I enjoy my like people like basically the reporters like, are you happy? Do you feel like life? Like, do you feel depressed? Basically, like life is basically of all what happened last year. His
Right.
stuff that he did last year. Do you feel happy? Are you in a good state of mind? I don't know if Draymond thought it was a slight or an insult of a question. I thought it was a really legit question to
Yeah.
ask. Like, how are you mentally, Draymond? I mean, like we need you need Draymond as a Warrior fan there. You need him there 82 games. Like no shenanigans. Like you need him there. I mean, I felt like it wasn't like a slight question. I felt like it was a legit where are you at mentally? We know you are physically one of the strongest players in the NBA under 7 feet. We get it. I mean, how are you mentally? So I think Draymond took it the left. He took it left, and he just for 2 minutes you just heard an unraveling Draymond. It's like, did we learn anything during the suspensions last year? The ejections? Did we learn anything, Draymond? Like, like
Draymond. And this is exactly why I'm so glad I have not sat there and watched this video yet. Yeah, I'm just probably once I watch that video, I'm just probably just gonna shake my head and just be like, yeah, that's Draymond, and he's already in
reform.
he's in Christmas shape.
Mm-hmm. Mentally, he's ready. He's ready to. Yep.
Already NBA regular season ready. He
Mhm.
20 in.
Yep. Yep. Like I said, we'll get more in depth with the NBA season previews episode coming up in the future, you guys. So stay tuned for that. All right, let's go into college football a little bit. Start with you, Darren. What were you impressed with? What was your first good impression of the weekend?
First good impression. I guess I could just go how that morning went. The very first game I watched was I believe it was Kentucky and Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
And man, kudos to the Wildcats for digging in that win, man.
Old Stoops at it again.
You cannot sleep against legendary coaches like him
Mm-hmm.
and his brother Bob. Like, come on, man.
We get it.
You got to know better. You got to know who you're going against on the other side of that sideline. So
Ole Miss should be ashamed of themselves. Like they've been beating people down, like just like a crack in the egg. Like you get to Kentucky, this is your first SEC game, and it's like 17 points. Like,
So just
mm.
that they could not move at all. And I
Did you see that play when the guy faked his injury, the running back, Jackson Dart
even
fall down? Like, hmm.
outside of that game, that's just kind of in it. A lot of commentators have been talking about it also, but it's been happening a whole lot. These fake injuries to either slow down one side of the ball. It's just like something. I mean, at first it was kind of like some gamemanship type of ordeal, and I really didn't have too much of an issue about it, to be honest. Because I mean, what you gonna do? What you gonna
Test
do?
and see if he was really hurt or not. Like, I mean,
Right?
yeah,
You
like,
gonna X-ray real quick and tell me I'm lying? You ain't in my body. But once it gets kind of out of hand and kind of just egregious and just I don't know, just lazy. It's just like, are you serious, bro? Like, come on, get up. This isn't soccer.
yeah,
Like, this is people don't watch soccer.
yeah. It's,
So I mean, I that at home, I'm really hoping that gets cleaned up. Um, but yeah, I saw that in the game as well. Another game that impressed me, of course, was the just that hell of a Georgia Alabama game. That's
yeah.
that man. Listen,
Ryan Williams, boy.
he's some SEC football.
Can he just
Tradition.
go? Can he be in the draft? I know he's 17. He can't get there until junior year, but can he just go ahead and go now? Like he would be a number one draft pick. I mean, like without a doubt. Like he did two spin moves I've never seen in one play. You catch it, spin around, then spin right back around and go 75 yards. Like just so many emotions in that game. You up 28-3, 28 to 3, Alabama. Georgia comes back, takes the lead 34-33. Bama takes the lead right back. Had an opportunity to go for the win, intercepted at the end zone. Carson Beck. Did the media overhype Carson Beck? I feel like.
He sure didn't help his cause this past Saturday.
Hmm.
Um, dude, he tried to make up for it with that second half performance, which wasn't really it wasn't terrible, but
Hmm.
it's really great because he still has some very questionable throws, especially towards like it was like the last like 5-7 minutes of the fourth quarter where Georgia just could absolutely not move the ball at all past the 50-yard line. And Alabama, they were just like, we're gonna score one way or another. All right, if you can't get a touchdown on this drive, all right, we threw an interception or you guys got the ball back. Okay, boom. All right, y'all messed up. We got the ball back. Oh, still can't score. They get the ball back at what, like the 2-yard line?
Hmm.
And then the next thing you know, a safety. So it's just like, man, listen, Bama got them dogs, bro. And
Jalen Monroe. Did we undervalue Jalen Monroe? Because
I
I did. I did. Like
so
I just didn't know he got that arm. Like he got an arm. Like I thought he was more like a Jalen Hurts or uh what's another running like a what's a dual running quarterback? Jalen Daniels, which we'll probably get into later. He's more like him. I still don't know if Jalen Daniels can throw, but he's such an athletic quarterback. That's how I feel like Jalen Monroe is. But him being in that pocket, throwing the way he was throwing, it makes me think otherwise. Jalen Monroe could be on that like Quinn Ewers or Archie Manning because Archie Manning can throw. Archie can throw.
I personally feel like uh Jalen Miro, he should be the number one quarterback in
Ah,
the class.
can't go over you or I can't. That's my guy from I can't, but I hear you. I hear
I
you. Like,
I really think he is the best, especially. I mean, you just beat one of the best teams in the land, not just the league, but in the land. So I feel like that has something to some say about it.
mm,
Uh,
it's tough. It's tough.
I honestly, I honestly feel like both of the Texas quarterbacks are probably not even in the top three of the draft class.
You don't think so?
I,
You got Monroe and who else? Like,
Monroe, um,
what about Cam Ward, the Miami
I,
quarterback?
I might have to put Cam Ward in
That was
second.
a lucky, but they won. Miami won, but
I think I'm gonna have to put
yeah.
second, and then, man, listen,
Mm.
you can't really count out Shadur, man.
It ca- Yeah, you're right. Um, Colorado's they dominated Central. They dominated Central Florida.
Exactly, like that.
Dominated. Travis
And
Hunter did too. But
he,
without Travis Hunter, you think like, do you think they'll be this good without Travis? Like
oh hell
impressively, that,
hell
that's
no.
not. That's why I feel like Shador is doing his thing, not turning over the ball. I get it, but Travis is changing Colorado to a different team, like trajectory wise. So I still want to see Shador in like more, like, because I feel like because he has Travis, it's like all right. It's kind of like Monroe with Ryan Williams. It's like oh, I'm just gonna give it to Ryan Williams. Just let's just can he do it with like say Janie Daniels in his act in Washington? Like can you do it with that? Because they really don't have that much in Washington, but Jalen is making stuff happen
Right.
less. Like
I feel if I did have to compare a quarterback in the NFL to Monroe, Monroe, excuse,
Monroe. I
um,
got
it would be Jaden Daniels, just because of both the athleticism
you.
and the type of quarterbacks they are.
Right.
Pay attention, both of them, they're mobile, but they're not run first.
Mm-hmm.
They were sitting there, they would sit in that pocket
Yeah.
and anything, then they'll take off.
Yeah.
Unless the play calls for like, a quarterback keeper real quick. And my goodness, that man, listen, Jalen Monroe, that dude got some wheels on him.
He does. Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
hey,
He does.
I wasn't really too high on him, but after that game, I was just like, I gotta respect him a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, Colorado's coming. I mean, they got a big test this week. That could probably be one of your marquee games. Colorado and Kansas State. That's a marquee game. It should be a fun, interesting game to say the least. I'm going like you said. I agree with everything. You're in press and all. I hate to do this for deep press because it's your Mississippi State Bulldogs. I hate to do this just to pile on a little bit more, but
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Archie Manning just lit y'all up. Like
I knew he was gonna have a field day. I
I
knew he
just
was.
I didn't think it was like that though. Like that. He's a redshirt freshman and he is just obliterating.
That defense is so terrible, bro. I mean, me and you can go out there and throw 300 on them folks, bro.
Really? No.
Man,
I don't want to disrespect Mississippi State like that. I know I got people there. I don't want to disrespect Mississippi State, but you have one of those years, like in Florida. You just have one of those years. And Florida State too. You just have those years. But
they've been having one of them years for the past 3, 4, 5 years.
last year was okay. Wasn't it like
It's Mike Leach.
that? Wasn't it okay last year? Like y'all had like 7, 8 wins? No, six. Was it six? Was it 6 wins?
No, I don't even think they had 6 wins last year. I don't even think they made it to a bowl game last year. I
No,
can't remember.
oh, the year before. Okay, the year before.
See?
Mike Leach's last year, right? Yeah. Okay, I get your point. Like it was the Mike Leach year. They had to. I get you.
They barely made the bowl game that year.
Yeah, he's probably rolling over his grave right now, looking at this this collection they got. But
Go call Dan. That's what they need to go.
oh Dan, where is he at? By the way,
Man, chilling, getting paid by ESPN.
you don't think they'll give him a call? Be like, come on, Dan, come on back. This new guy.
They want to. State's pride is probably. I don't know. I think they're still kind of butthurt because Dan is the one that left State. State's not the one that let go of Dan.
Yeah.
I think there's still probably some butthurt feelings about that. Now, granted, that was a different administration and AD back then, but business is business, and you're gonna have to find some wins some type of way, or before you just turn
These,
into another Arkansas. You remember the time where Arkansas they could barely win any SEC games. They
but they'll
went
score like 40, 50 points though.
about the SEC game.
But they'll score like 40, 50 points though.
Dude,
They were exciting to watch. My boy Nut, my boy Big Nut. um, Mississippi State's next three games. Ooh, Georgia, Texas A&M, and Arkansas. Oh God. Oh God.
lost.
Maybe Arkansas, hey. But then
Man,
after that, Massachusetts, UT, Missouri, Ole Miss. Oh.
well,
Oh.
Jesus.
Ooh.
At least you can have homecoming happy.
Well, Massachusetts, that's their homecoming.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Oh, man, it's JSU's homecoming. Man, y'all
Is
just
it?
had to have homecoming. JSU's homecoming is the same day as Mississippi State's homecoming.
Oh,
Great. I was looking forward to going to Mississippi State. Well, maybe next year because I got to go JSU homecoming. I got to go. I've never been. I'm like the
did
kid left out. I haven't been to JSU homecoming.
they performing? Who's coming down there?
Who for JSU?
Yeah.
No. Who is it?
Mhm.
Who is
But
it? Do you know who? Oh,
I,
you know?
I was wondering if you knew or if they
Oh
had.
no. I have to do my research on that, but this is my first one going. I'm excited. I might vlog it. I don't vlog, but I might have to vlog this. I have to vlog, like log it, like say, hey y'all. I hate, my sister does this, and I'm not really a fan of it, but I have to probably start recording, like like I'm here, y'all. I can see the band and the jamboree, but I have to probably do that for this game. This is a rare, good, special moment going to a JSU game, like rare moment.
You know how old that idea makes you?
What? Gen Z? What am I? Gen Z? Like
How old is your sister?
she's 33.
Man, that
But
sounds like some old people stuff to do.
oh no. She has like she's on YouTube, like she's a YouTuber. So I
I,
mean, like she's
I
teaching me how to do stuff like that. So
reason
like, huh?
you just want to do it just because you want to be like I'm live, baby.
I'm live at JSU homecoming. Damn right. Like I'm here. I'll be here on my
I
birthday
respect.
weekend too.
Nah,
I'm here.
I'm cool with. I respect it. That's cool.
I'm here.
No, it's
Um,
fun though. Yeah,
have you been you've been to JSU homecoming before, right?
I have not been to a JSU homecoming.
Man, we should go. I get you an extra ticket. You should go. Huh?
I said I've been to a Boombox Classic, but I have not been to a JSU homecoming.
Man, you should go. I should get you an extra ticket. You should go with me and my father-in-law. We should all go. Like she's out of town. My wife's out of town that
It's
weekend,
on a
so
free weekend. If Memphis out of town and it's a free weekend,
man, maybe I have to look this up. Look with Memphis's game. Do they have a game?
still staying on the topic of depressing moments of
Hmm.
this weekend. Happy they won, but that Tigers offense is pitiful that day.
Only 24 points. Yeah,
He only scored 24 points against Middle Tennessee.
yeah, that is kind of. Oh,
But
Memphis is out of town November 2nd. University of Texas San Antonio. So you have a chance. Like,
interesting. Yeah, keep me posted on that.
okay, I will. But the Navy game before that, I think they kind of took away. It took something out of them. Clearly, Memphis.
I mean, and it was crazy because it was a double whammy. You lose to Navy, and then you deny the Pac-12.
Do you think that was a smart move for them to deny Pac-12?
I do. It didn't financially make sense.
But
It's
who's
like
in the Pac-12 now? That's my
you
question. Like,
tell me my program. You need my program because one of my program is like one of the highest regards. out of everybody in your conference right now, probably one of the biggest cities out of that conference. I'm trying to remember, but I feel like that's pretty accurate. Rich sports history. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you you can't go wrong having the Memphis media market in your conference. You
Right.
just can't. And
Right.
for them to tell Memphis how special they are and how much they need them, and just talking all that goody gushy stuff, and you're gonna
Right.
turn around and be like, all right, so we your exit fee, the AAC. I mean, the
American.
AAC,
Oh, yeah.
we already know, well, kind of would have known that the exit fee would have been 25.5 million dollars.
Yeah.
Pac-12 is only going to give you 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
You got to cover the rest of that. You serious?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't. It just did not make sense at all.
Okay. I agree with you more, but it's like the Pac-12 just lost its luster. I mean, it's like if you want to be dominant, I get it. It's more opportunity in Pac-12 than it is American. America just doesn't get that recognition like Pac-12 and Big Ten. We know that. But
Right.
it's like the Pac-12 is just not what it used to be. And it's like, if I'm just, I'd rather go to ACC than the American, like something a little bit bigger than what the Pac-12 is currently right now. So
Exactly. The Pac-12 currently right now is not considered like
the cream of the crop type of.
a big part of the power conferences. They're not a power conference anymore.
Right.
So their autonomy regarding into the college football playoff doesn't really they don't really have a place in there. You're gonna have to finish high in the rankings to get into the college football playoff. So that's an issue. Another issue regarding joining the Pac-12, there's no set in stone media deal. If there was our
Mhm.
type of plan where you're just like, okay, if I go ahead and spend this 20 plus million to get out of the American, I already know I'm going to recoup some of this money from this X media deal. Well, there's no said media deal right now. And we already know what happened to the prior media deal and how that Pac-12 network just did not work at all.
And they have their own network, like you said. Like they have people, you have people that can watch what the Pac-12 is, but if you don't have the product, you don't have the the things to make it flow and make it go, you just have a dead network that nobody really cares about. So I hear you, but like I'm waiting for the ACC or like the Big East, the
And
Big East
so,
call again.
and,
Like,
and, and that's where that kind of comes into because Memphis at this point, since they did not join the Big 12, the Pac 12, excuse me,
Pac-12.
they're going to have to probably wait around like 2030 to join the ACC, only because of how the media rights go, how the media deals will go. They're
Yeah,
probably think that conference reads up for another media deal till like 2029, 2030. So by that time, they will be, trying to figure out how they want to add some more money, or if Florida State, or I think what was it, Florida State, Clemson, Miami try to bounce out of the ACC.
yeah,
We'll you'll have a better picture in mind whenever we get closer down to the end of this decade compared
yeah,
to now. Because I mean, there's no telling how that conference is gonna operate. Plus, the Americans already given like the member universities like some type of like planned stipend, like an incentive to like for them staying. So I
yeah,
don't. I just feel like overall it was just a better move. And plus, I mean, you're just playing the waiting game for the Atlantic Coastal Conference, and hopefully you'll be able to get there. Uh, if not, I mean, it's not the end of the world. I'm sure there'll probably be some other super conference that'll come in mind. Like I said before, Florida
Hmm.
State, Clemson, and Miami, and I feel like it's probably one other school maybe are going to try to leave that conference. Maybe they may be able to tag along to Memphis, tag along to Louisville, tag along some other universities to
Hmm.
make their own little SEC Part Two type of conference.
Hmm.
I don't know. We'll see
Uh,
how all that plays out.
yeah. So quickly, do you think Memphis will make the playoffs? Even if they went out, there's no chance that they'll make the playoffs.
Uh,
I think that lost Navy killed it. It's like,
all right. It's gonna be hard because Navy has a hard schedule. So I think they're gonna lose probably one, possibly two more games before the end of this year. I think another team that's ahead of Memphis in the conference is Army. Both of the service is crazy. Both of the service academies are have a better record than Memphis. But Army schedule,
yeah.
uh, they don't play anybody. They they
When
got
Navy plays Notre Dame on October 26th,
exactly.
so in Navy Army game, so I think that might be the break that they need. But you talking about Tulane or UCF to
Yeah,
give them an
yeah.
opportunity? Okay, yeah, yeah, possibly.
Mhm, mhm.
They need all three of them. They need Tulane, Central Florida, and Navy. All three of them to lose. Tulane, yeah, all of them to lose, basically, in order for them to get into the playoffs.
Exactly. So, which is possible, and of course, Memphis is going to have to win out. But I don't have any worries about Memphis possibly not winning out. Uh, they play fairly decent on the road. That's where most of their hard games are going to be on the road.
Yeah.
Uh, I believe.
It's gonna be the Tulane game at the end.
Yeah,
The
it's
last game of the
definitely
season at Tulane.
at Tulane.
That's the thing. That's the game. So if they can win that, win the conference, like you said, they got a shot. They got a shot. Are there any games? Because Memphis is what are they playing Friday? They play Friday. Besides our Memphis and South Florida game, what other game are you most interested in watching this weekend? College football game.
mm,
Just one. You gotta like.
I really don't even know, bro. Uh,
I got two. If you
what you got?
So college game day is going to University of California for the Miami California game. That could be Miami's a 10-point favorite. I'm just gonna leave it at that. What I saw from Miami last week, they should be a 10-point favorite. It really shouldn't. But if there's if I smell an upset, that could be like one of those upset games. Late night, Saturday night, late night. I mean,
Late night too.
mm-hmm. That
Oh,
could be a fun game. Tennessee, Arkansas could be also a fun game too. I mean, we saw Arkansas a couple weeks ago give Oklahoma State all they want. Now this is different beast than UT. We get it, but that could be another interesting, fun top 25 goodie. So it could be some Mizzou, Texas A&M. That's at 11 a.m. early in the morning.
who we got? I assume that the Tennessee game.
Yeah, network ABC. The CBS, you talking about what CBS game we got?
That's the
Uh
game. I'm pretty sure that's
I,
right.
Iowa, Ohio State is the CBS game, 2:30.
Well, who got the 7 o'clock ABC game?
Uh Tennessee, Arkansas,
Okay,
6:30.
I figured that was the. So yeah, that'll probably be the game I'll be watching more than likely.
Yeah. Hate that CBS don't have SEC no more. It sucks,
Yeah,
man.
it's weird. It's
Man,
so
it's
weird.
so weird. All right, let's quickly get into NFL right quick. Get on my soapbox about the Philadelphia Eagles. We suck. Like point blank, period. Like if I thought they would come up with more firepower against Tampa Bay, clearly did not happen. Uh Baker Mayfield is good. I don't want to just sit here and bomb on Baker Mayfield. He's good. He's a good, decent quarterback. But for him to go almost 400 yards, that's obliterated. That's ridiculous. Like that's
You didn't sound too happy in the group message.
I did not sound happy. Was not happy.
And kept bringing up Baker Mayfield. It wasn't me.
No, I know it wasn't. It was our Titan boy Stanley.
Because I was late to the game. It was a very busy Sunday for me. I was recovering from a very, very busy Saturday. But yeah, when I caught up in those messages, boy, this dude right here and
Stanley
Payne, oh my goodness. Titans and Eagles, Mayfield, and using injuries as an excuse and not bringing up old news and talking about this season alone. Man, listen.
At the end of the day, we're still 2-2. Just I don't know what to say. We're good. We're good and bad. I'm not gonna sit there and really use AJ Brown and Devontae as the reason why. I can't like that. That's not the whole reason why we're sucking right now. It's the coaching. It's Jalen Hurts' turnovers. They're killing us.
Yeah.
His play is killing us right now. Flat out. Like, he needs to get better. Plain and simple. And I give credit to the Tennessee Titans. They won. Congratulations. They might not get a lot more wins coming up this season, but they got one. So, like, that's good enough for me. They messed up. Thank you, Tony Pollard, for messing my parlay up. That last touchdown with like 24 seconds left. Thank you, Tony Pollard. Like, that was chef's kiss on that. Now the floor is yours about the Denver Broncos. That was one of the most ugliest wins on like they didn't even go to red zone that much for this game. But
yeah, like, he was trying to catch up and trying to figure out what's going on with Denver and the New York Jets, and you was watching red zone, you would think that game got canceled or something, or it was a delay
or it didn't happen.
It didn't even happen at all. It got blacked out. Red zone, they got blacked out.
Blacked out on red zone was crazy. It just because they never showed it. It was like the final minute when homeboy missed the field goal. Like,
I didn't watch much of that game because and admittedly, I haven't really watched much of the Denver Broncos season because I know better. I ain't about to, subject myself to that madness on the Lord's Day on a new work week. I'm just not. We ain't about to have that.
But you guys are 2-2 though. You guys are 2-2. I mean,
2-2, but it's just like,
and you play the Raiders, who are just the Raiders are ready to quit. So
and how many touchdown passes has Bo Nick's thrown so far? What, 3?
3 and rush for 1. He's got better stats than Caleb. He's got better stats than Caleb Williams, and that's saying it. Yeah, yeah.
What they're gonna do? I think it's still just a work in progress.
Yeah,
and I don't know, man.
Would you be in favor of going for Devontae? Would you be in favor of going for Devontae? He's on the trading block officially.
Devontae Adams?
Yes.
Okay, so here's where I'm at with this. I would love to get him. I think he'll be with Rashid Rice just injuring himself, he'll be perfect for the Chiefs.
Not gonna happen. They're not gonna trade.
It's not gonna happen with Denver, and the Chargers will love him too. But it ain't gonna happen with the Chargers because we all divisional rivals. It'll be different if it was the off season. That's business. We ain't competing during the regular season. Don't call my phone. So we already know we ain't gonna get Devontae Adams. So that leads me to thinking I think he may be getting traded to the NFC. And there's only really 2 teams in the NFC that I can see getting Devontae Adams.
Don't say one of the teams. Please don't.
One of those teams is going to be, and this one's the wild one. And this is the one that, if this happens, boy, them Washington Commanders, bro.
Oh Lord, yeah. Yeah.
Let him put on that burgundy on and see what happens. And see what actually kind of connections Jaden Daniels can do with having Terry. You got Terry and
And Brian Robinson. Yeah, that's scary.
Shoot.
That's scary.
Exactly. And then the other NFC team that I can see him possibly go to, oh, frick. Yeah, across my mind. They'll come back to me a little bit. But I
Not the
mean,
Cowboys.
no, I know for sure it wasn't the Cowboys.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say the Cowboys. I was
No. It was, man, I'm killing. I'm so mad that I can't remember right now. But
in the NFC East or another division.
no, it was definitely a different division.
The Saints.
No, it was not the Saints. Uh, uh,
The Packers. No.
yep,
The Packers.
yep. Because
Wow.
you know,
He goes back to Green Bay. Is that what you
yes, he
say?
goes back to Green Bay. That was my other. That was my other hypothesis. He goes back to Green Bay because their wide receivers, especially Christian Watson. He seems like he's having some injury bug lately.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really have a definite number one receiver.
They have a bunch of twos.
Dudes.
They got a bunch of number twos. Yeah.
They got other wide receivers on there, but it's just like they don't have that definite number one, and that's what Jordan Love needs is a definite number one.
They got solid receivers. They got is Wicks and Christian Watson, like you said. What's the short guy? Jordan Reed.
Yeah,
They got playmakers on and Jacobs. They got Jacob. Um, that's a good selection. I still think the Baltimore Ravens need to get a hold of Devontae Adams like immediately.
that'd be interesting. That'd be very interesting.
Get a hold of him.
If we, I have one better for you. If we're going to AFC,
Mm-hmm.
then Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, yeah. They need a receiver, and you saw it Sunday night. You saw that.
That need on their phone right now. It's the
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills. They
Sure.
hey, what you need?
Hmm.
We send it right now.
Mm-hmm. Him and Josh Allen. That's yeah.
That'd be nasty.
Do you? Well, speaking of that, the Bills and the Ravens game. Do you take any? I don't know. How do you feel about that game? Like Bills have never gotten blown out like that in a long time. So is it just one of those? It was just a bad day, or is it just forget about it? Let's just move on because they play Houston next.
I definitely feel like it's one of those it is what it is type of ordeals, like just one of those games because you can't really harp on it because, like you said, you still got another hard team coming your way with the Houston Texans. So
Mm-hmm.
no, harping on that loss isn't gonna do you any justice. And you gotta think, man, they don't they play because the other team they were just coming off of losses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean
They
it was just bad. They just looked like they forgot. I don't know. It was Derrick Henry just kills them every. It seems like Derrick Henry kills the Bills, no matter what uniform he's in. He just murders them. Like think about all the moments that Derrick Henry's career, his highlight career could be against the Buffalo Bills. Like hit the forearm, the stiff arm on Norman. Like
yeah, he has something against them Bills. I don't know what it is, but and you're right. You are
87 yards on the first play. Like I mean, he's supposed to be slowing down. Like how is he still at 30 years old
a
keeping
cyborg,
up like
man.
this?
All the time, that dude is a cyborg. He ain't real.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, I'm not. I mean, I ain't really surprised over that performance by the Ravens. Like I said, they started what was 0-3.
Yes.
So yeah, they
0
they
and 2. 0 and 2.
0-2. Yeah, they started 0-2. They could have been 0-3. So they were just mad. Yeah, and that's what you get when you get a pissed off Baltimore Raven team. You get a madman Derrick Henry running down your throat.
Right. Right. That's case closed. So what's the marquee game you're excited to watch NFL this Sunday
Mm,
besides your Broncos?
got jokes.
I'm
We got
just saying. I'm
jokes.
just saying. Like we got a bye week, so I need to find something. Like
Ah, man.
it's got to be Bills and Texans. Like it's got
It
to be
wasn't Texans, to be honest, because I
Cowboys Steelers Sunday
really,
night.
because like that's gonna have to be the Diggs revenge game, bro.
Mm-hmm.
The Diggs revenge game. That's the only thing that's in my mind because I'm just like I don't know what other game besides that one right there. Because man, I promise you, Steph, that dude is so ready, bro. He is licking his chops right now.
I hope he ain't too ready because I got Nico Collins my fantasy team. I still need Nico to get his touches,
Bro,
but
that
to
dude's
get
been
your
going
point, like
nuclear.
well,
Also
Nico. Oh,
on my teams, but that dude
yeah,
is
he is.
all.
I play you this week, so I'm not looking forward to that either. But I'm not looking forward. Undefeated in our Yahoo League. You are. I need some help. My team is trash. Yeah, Bills Texans. That's a good Cowboys Steelers. That's a Sunday night game.
I'm gonna be decent. Well,
I don't think Micah is playing though. So I don't.
I would take the under. I don't know where the under is at, but take
42 and a half does not feel like an under. If
40.
Micah's not playing, I don't know. It's at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm taking the under.
It's like
Sunday night game. Yeah, I'll take the under.
Pittsburgh's 2.5 point favorite. That'd be your best bet. The under in that game, 42 and a half.
Probably my best bet of the week, but I for that game, yeah, I'm taking the under.
Um, I can see that. I got a couple. The Jets and the Minnesota. That's the London games, 8:30 in the morning.
Hey,
Um,
we're back in London.
yeah, the New York Football Jets and Minnesota. I think the Jets probably need to just stay there, and I think Minnesota's gonna pound them. I just don't. I don't. After what I saw from Denver, there is no way they're gonna beat Minnesota. No way. There's
Minnesota,
no chance. Like
Minnesota should win that game, but just because it's in London, Washington Jets win.
how? They look inept against inept. Now they go against this
I
Minnesota defense. Like
you would think Minnesota would win this game, but it's going to be such a close game
oh my
that
goodness.
what's his name? Because then the kicker missed the field goal.
Yes. Yes.
He's going to get his redemption kick. He's going to win the game in London. Watch it happen.
Hmm.
Aaron Aaron Rodgers is he's gonna bring this nice. I don't know. They're gonna get the ball around. I guess they'll have a touchback around the 20-25 yard line. He's gonna
Hmm.
gonna drive that ball all the way down that field just for that kid to come out and make that field goal. Guaranteed.
I mean, okay.
What's
Time
the
will tell. What's the spread on the game? Minnesota's favored by 2.5. Mm.
Give me the plus 2.5.
You think so? I just don't. Okay, the only way the Jets are going to win, they got to get a lot. Rice, he's got to do way more than what he did against.
Oh,
Granted, it was y'all that shut him down, but he's
I
got
mean,
to put his fingerprints in this game. Like he's got to go win. And Garrett Wilson, did he even play last week? Like, hello, like did he play? What did he get? What one catch? I don't know what he. I gotta look at his
that's
stats.
what happens. That's when Patrick Surtain locks you down, Mister.
He did to Mike Evans too. He sure did. Mike Evans, he followed Mike Evans to the bathroom. That's how. Let me look. Garrett Wilson 5 for 41. Okay, that was a quiet 5 receptions for 41 yards.
He was getting in the yak. That yak was gone.
Yeah,
Oh, you
Yak was
you
gone.
can get that catch, but you ain't going nowhere after you get this catch.
I have a couple Poofecta games, couple Boo Boo games for this week because it's a couple. The Dolphins and New England Patriots game. My lord,
My God.
my God.
Okay. Yeah,
uh,
that's bad.
maybe Huntley can play better. He's got another weekend. I don't know, but
That's
bad. That's
yeah,
just
no
ugh.
waste my watching that game.
Um, I was going to say Green Bay and LA Rams, but like I
Green
was
Bay should be able to win that game. I think Cooper Cup is still injured. I don't think he'll be cleared for this week. So, Rams.
Devontae Adams to LA Rams.
I was thinking about that also, but I just already feel like I feel like that wide receiver room is already cramped,
Yeah.
and by the time Puka and Cooper Cup gets back, it's just like, all right, so how are you gonna keep everybody happy? You know what I'm saying?
Good question. Good question. The 3 o'clock games are horrible. Horrible. Besides y'all game, you play the Raiders and Broncos. Arizona, Fort San Francisco. Hmm. Oh, Green Bay and the Rams. And the Giants and Seattle. Lord have mercy.
Oh,
Lord have mercy.
jeez.
CB, they did CBS wrong for this week. Like,
That's why I couldn't figure
yeah, wrong.
bro,
Like,
that's terrible. Seattle should win that game.
God.
Now I'm not sure how that 49er game is gonna come out.
Oh, I know how it is. Everybody was so hyped on Arizona. Like, they're still the Arizona Cardinals. Like, let's not fade away from that.
The home team?
San Francisco, and they're
Oh,
favored by 7.5.
okay. I give the edge to San Francisco then.
Oh, I forgot the Washington plays Cleveland. I hope Cleveland wins so we can kind of slow down the Jalen Daniels
I
talk, but I don't think that's
feel
gonna
like they
happen.
get be competitive.
Nah. Oh, in Jacksonville, can they get their first win against the Colts with
Probably
Joe
not.
Flacco? With Joe Flacco?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I I don't know what the hell happened with that team. I just I'm so confused.
Didn't you pick them to win the division
Good
back
and
then?
all of a sudden, so boo boo.
Didn't you pick them to win the division like on our early season, like, or did you pick
Oh, I got used to winning division.
you had
I had
Jacksonville in the
Jack
playoffs?
second place at
Second
least.
place. Well, don't
Well,
worry, I got a lot of
they
stuff
made
wrong too.
I
No,
don't know. I don't that whole division is just ugh.
don't worry, I was wrong on the Giants. Way wrong on the Giants. So I won't hold that against you. Like way wrong. Like I had the Giants in the playoffs.
That
God. The Cincinnati, look, Cincinnati plays Baltimore. That's an
that
interesting game.
there you go.
That's an interesting game.
There's your other good game.
Cincinnati needs this badly, so
Oh no, this is a must win for Cincinnati. Well, I mean it's a must win for both teams, but for the sake of like momentum and trying to like save the season and gain as many wins as possible, Cincinnati needs to win this game because
yeah, they do.
Baltimore they know who they are. They're not in a state of denial. Cincinnati they haven't been that them boys since shoot. When was last time? When was their Super Bowl run? What was that? 3 years ago? 4 years
Three
ago?
years 3 years ago. I picked them to win the division too. So if they want to they need to win this game. So at home. And they're Baltimore's favored by 2.5. So they're home dogs. Okay. Even more motivation. Like even more like bring the dog mask out. If there's anything else you want to add, football wise. Oh, Monday night's the Saints and the Chiefs. That should be an interesting game.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Life without Rasheed Rice. I don't. I mean, they find a way to win regardless. I
I feel
don't.
like
Right.
Patrick Mahomes is just used to that. Patrick Mahomes is just like, all right, whoever's next, I'll play with them.
All
I'm
right.
used to not having wide receivers anyway, so F it.
Like that play was crazy though. The play that ended Rasheed Rice, that was crazy. Like he threw the pick, and then you go helmet first into the man's knee. Like, what are you doing, Mom? Patrick, what are you? Ugh.
Yeah.
All right, let's end it with, of course, the three legends that passed away: Pete Rose, Dikembe Mutombo, and John Amos. I remember. Do you remember Dan Le Batard's show Highly Questionable? And he had Mutombo on there. And there was a famous story about Mutombo going to the club and just yelling out, "Who wants sex with Mutombo?" And of course, Mutombo denied the story. But Alonzo Mourning said, "Oh, it happened. It's true." I always the Kevin Mutombo just had his body language, like he just seemed like a really fun, goofy guy. Um, of course, growing up watching basketball was like his latter years when he was with the 76ers, not with his prime with Atlanta, but he was still a shot blocking machine. Akeem Olajuwon got more blocks than Dikembe Mutombo, which is crazy. That's crazy. Like, I would never think that. I would never thought that.
But yeah, the hearing the passing of him, that was just
Yeah.
unexpected, just due to just how it happened because of the brain cancer. And as far as I knew, I never known of this. Folks that I've spoken to about this, that came to a surprise to them as well. And the crazy thing about it, during Grizzlies media day, Jaren Jackson, he had some words about the passing of Mutombo, and his father and Mutombo, they were roommates at
Jerry Jackson Sr. Oh.
was it Georgetown, I believe.
Mm.
And so he definitely has like strong ties to him. Jerry Jackson, he was saying that he's played a very pivotal point in his personal life ever since he was a kid. Just because of the connection his dad had with Mutombo. So yeah, that really did something to Jaren. He recognized him just being such a great dude, willing to help anybody and everybody, especially those in his circle. He definitely changed the lives of those in his circle. And just try to do as much as he can for the community or for the world. I believe he was like one of the founders for the NBA Africa League that we got
Yes.
right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, listen, that's like a pioneer that we lost, and so definitely someone a person that the basketball world definitely lost.
Yeah. RIP to him and pray for his family. Just a devastating loss, 58 years old. Then Pete Rose, hours later. There's a lot of things you could say about Pete Rose. He was a hell of a baseball player. I mean, we could take away, of course, the gambling and all that he did, and he should be in the Hall of Fame. And Stephen A said it in his yelling way, but he was right this morning on First Take about murderers are in the Hall of Fame in baseball. Like, for Pete Rose not to be in the Hall of Fame, even though it's gambling, I get it. He broke the rules of baseball code, whatever. But at this point now, he needs to be in the Hall of Fame and not be banned for like baseball. At this point now, I mean, you feel the same way. You feel the same way too, right?
I totally agree with you. The dude, he's your record leader in hits. That dude, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. This isn't the Hall of Good Deeds. This isn't the Hall of Good Samaritans. This is the Hall of Fame. This is for your achievements of the game itself. Your physical stats. We're not talking about off the field. We're talking about on the field.
And Barry Bonds too, and Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire and the rest of the steroid. They all need to be there.
Starting on Barry Bonds, because listen, the fact that dude just, oh man, he should have been in the Hall of Fame. What was it? 2 years ago now?
Yes.
I forgot when he was like really close and supposedly supposed to be up in there. I believe it was like 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago. But yeah, he definitely Pete Rose, man, listen, everybody ain't perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not what the Hall of Fame is for. It's not for people who are perfect.
Choir boys. Choir
Case,
boys.
once again, a lot of those players would not be in the Hall of Fame right now. So
Mm-hmm.
it's unfortunate that he won't be alive to be in the Hall of Fame. I feel like he will be inducted into the Hall of Fame, especially the fact that he's dead.
Sadly, because of this. Sadly. But it's
Yeah.
sad. I mean, I've saw 2 documentaries about it, and I just feel like it didn't take away from his base stealing, it didn't take away from the hits. Like he was
Mm,
still a hell of a baseball player. He had a problem, and I wish he would have got control of the problem, but like, it's ridiculous. Like, well, RIP to Pete Rose. They should probably rename the stadium Pete Rose Stadium for Cincinnati Reds. Probably that probably should be in the works.
I think they'll probably they'll have to see how the fans feel about it. They'll have to do some case studies about it because I don't know. You don't
Yeah,
want to piss anybody off, but then again, he ain't hurt nobody. He just tried to, he just wanted to spend some money and turn up and stuff. You know what I'm saying? He
Greed got the
all
best of him. Yeah,
type of stuff.
right. Greed got the best of him. Yeah, like everybody else, like me and other people, got the best of him. So and then finally, John Amos, like the original dad, black dad on television. People, I say it's still Bill Cosby, but I say John Amos is number 2.
I don't know.
People people disagree because Bill Cosby, but the Cosby Show, like I
No.
was not around during Good Times, but I see reruns all the time on Good Times. Don't get me wrong, but
Mhm.
the Cosby Show, Bill Cosby, like they grounded me. I grew up on the Cosby Show, but the Good Times was still good. I remember the episode he died. That was really sad.
Oh my
Like on
God.
the show, it was sad.
Oh
Like
yes, yes. Oh God, forgot about that episode.
man, that was sad. It was a good episode. Um, they say he's been dead since August 21st. The
Which is
fact that the family,
crazy.
it's been a month and um, more than a month he's been
It's
dead,
about
passed away.
like a month and a half,
Yes,
bro.
they kept that secret that long. Man,
I don't know why they were, so quiet about it. I mean, I really don't know why. But I mean, it's just weird because it's just like, okay, so why you had X amount of days before today to announce his passing? Why today? Why not tomorrow? Why
why
not
not?
tomorrow?
Yeah, after the funeral service, because I know they had it after, like a week after he died. I mean, that would
Right.
make more sense. Like
But I mean, it's still just very sad news. Very, very, very sad news. And
one of the funniest scenes ever was Players Club was him when he arrested Bill Dollar Bill at the club. And he said, I'm getting them for rape. You want me like the whole scene was just the last scene on Players Club. It was just y'all gotta watch Players Club, check it
yeah,
out.
yeah,
If you're of age to watch Players Club, watch the Players Club, not children.
Hugh
But
Grant is definitely a vibe.
yes, yes. So RIP to those 3 wonderful legends. Okay, that will conclude this wonderful, wonderful episode. We covered a lot.
We
Covered a
did.
lot. It was fun. It was fun to catch up with my boy, my brother. Uh, thank you so much for joining us on this episode. Like I said, we're gonna get you back on next week, like to preview the NBA. It's gonna be a fun NBA season. I could just feel it. It's gonna be a fun season,
I mean,
interesting season.
it's something me and you got to look forward to. Both of our teams 2-2, so we ain't got too much to look forward to in the NFL. Things may turn around for one of
Mm.
us, both of us, or maybe none of us. But I mean, we know how much we love our NBA basketball. So
We do. We do. We do. All right, you guys, that will conclude this wonderful episode. Please subscribe to the podcast at Throw It Down Big Fella and follow us on Instagram at Throw It Down Big Fella Pod. We will see you guys next time. For your host, Greg Rufus, and for Darren, peace out.
Throw it down, big man.